Hello everyone, I'm going to be starting out tonight with the AMX M445 here. Hope everyone's having a pretty good weekend here. Not going to be doing the test server unless for whatever reason, you guys want to see anything specific. But I figure I'd, start a live server here because I do plan on coming out with a few other videos specifically for the next patch coming out. Whether it's like a specific tank or I plan on making, I'm going to bring it up after this battle here. I kind of have a little image I made because I'm making a video about the next update, a little bit about power creep in a way, but not just so focused on the next patch, but the next patch does have, part, a pretty big part of the video. But it's nice to see some of you guys here already. Why did you just stop there? We're actually having a lot of people head this way, but I'm not terribly concerned. I'll be concerned when they get to here, but we do need, at least one or two people over there. But I'd say, like, I really enjoyed the test server. Like, I will be on it either after the stream tonight or tomorrow whenever I make some of these standard videos. But really it's just for testing, obviously, because it's called a test server. But I guess, of course I like to play the new content and get a look at it and make content for it. But it's a pretty good spot to where if you are grinding towards a tank, at least hop onto it, make sure you actually like it. You get a pretty good feel for it, even though there's a lot of gold ammo thrown about. Ooh, I'm actually surprised that he hit me there. Yeah. Alright. Let's say I can't hit that guy, I know that. It looks like they definitely have people in the center, but it looks like they might have actually put a lot of people on the beach. I was expecting to round this corner and we'd have quite a bit of people to kind of fight, but nope. It's a little bit different here. I'm actually going to cut a little bit harder this way though, because I'm afraid that there's, that guy has died. I'm afraid that there's quite a bit of people if I push straight ahead there. But I've done nothing so far. My team is ahead by 4, so it could be worse. As long as we're winning, I can take a match or two where I'm kind of crapping. Okay, he's still moving. Crapping it up. There's no point in me trying to chase the SP1C. They definitely have that guy. Super Persian I can't deal with. He's down. Oh, I'm not even gonna ram him. There we go. Can't believe I bounced that. Thank you, Fermento, for the subscription. Thanks for tipping Levi Biscuit too, Victor. So this is not going to be a really thrilling match here, but at least we're gonna get a W. Thanks for that heat shell, Mr. M4. Rev there. The aim time on this tank, it kills me. Like, I can deal, like, the overall accuracy, I'm using the 90mm. Accuracy is fine. The aiming time, though, is just terrible. Thanks. Where did this Oni go? Is he still on my right, or is he on my left? I have no idea where this guy is. Oh, he's all the way down there. Might as well go for it. Even if I didn't want to go for it, I didn't really have a choice. I started falling before I actually wanted to commit there, but at least I fell in the right spot. Thank you, Marius, for the subscription. Sure, John. Well, yeah, the Object 257, I would be surprised, like, if they don't change the armor, they should definitely nerf the mobility on it. Maybe even the gun just slightly. If they do change the armor, it'll be a fine tank, but it's just the side armor on it is a little bit ridiculous. Not because it's too strong and like just say raw armor value wise, but because of game mechanics and how, you know, penetrating space armor, penetrating and ricocheting, stuff like that. The game mechanics heavily benefit that tank more so than any tank in the game. Not a great match here, but what I wanted to pull up really fast, let me tip Levi first here, but I'll pull it up. Bright colors coming ahead. I'm making a video about, so especially like this patch coming out, a lot of people call it power creep, which I'm not going to disagree with that, because that's, you know, it fits in there. But as far as something called armor creep, and as far as, you know, tanks that you need gold premium shells to actually engage at tier 10 frontally, it's drastically gone up. Like starting in the top left of my little image I made up here, the purple, so that starts basically earlier last year. So that's February 2017 or later. The tanks in purple and green were either implemented into the game or modified, you know, as far as armor in the game. So excluding light tanks, you know, there's only 3 tanks on that first little section where it's limited need for gold and premium rounds. Now, moving on to the upper right, you know, you'll notice this is situational. So say if a tank's like hull down or side scraping, or, you know, you can't hit the lower plate or something, you have like the Object 430U that's coming in the next patch, Super Conqueror, then like the AMX 50 Foch B, Strive 103B. They're newer tanks. Like the Foch B I know isn't new, but it, you know, technically it is a new tank to the game in the timeline that I kind of used here. But then you get down to the bottom right corner. I kind of coined it the King Midas level. I still have to spell check everything, so hopefully I spelled everything right. But you know, this is a heavy need for premium rounds when it comes to dealing with these tanks, even outside of, say, just a tank hold down, or, you know, just more or less these tanks. You can still penetrate some of them from the front with, you know, say a standard round from a tier 9, tier 10 tank. But for a lot of them, either people swap straight to gold because that's a very small chance, or some of them, you know, the chance to pen them frontally, unless you hit like a small spot or you hit their weak spot, and it's like, you know, 30-40% chance to pen at most in like their weak areas. But looking at this last area, you'll notice there's only 4 tanks that are kind of white here. So those are tanks that are older than February 2017. Like, I have the Mouse and the Type 5 in purple because that's when they received armor buffs. That's when that patch came out early last year, and they drastically changed the German heavy tanks, added in, you know, the PZ7, and they buffed the Mouse's armor. Type 5 got some armor buffs as well around that time. But more or less, noticing there, you have 4 tanks in white, and then, you know, it very heavily weighs towards newer tanks being immune to everything except for gold rounds. Especially, you know, you have the AMX M454, Object 705A, the Badger, and the Object 268 V4. Those 4 tanks in green either came out last patch or they're coming out in this patch here. So it's just something that, you know, I'm going to be making a more in-depth kind of look at what I'm trying to explain here. But basically, you know, wargaming in a way, you know, there's power creep going on all the time because they do have to keep, you know, people interested in playing, and especially new tanks. It's harder to just, like, say, put out the same thing and expect people to want it. However, it's kind of scary the way that balancing's going, especially in the last patch and this patch, to where the newer tanks at high tiers being released, and that's just for tier 10. Like, you have the Object 257 that is definitely a huge problem at tier 9 right now on the test server, to where they're putting in tanks that are basically balanced around premium rounds, which, love it or hate it, like, you know, I definitely think they should rebalance premium rounds instead of balancing around it. But if they want to keep them, they got to rebalance basically everything at once. So they should just, you know, settle on whether or not they're going through with rebalancing premium rounds. And mainly when I say that, it has to deal with heat rounds. You'll notice on some of the new tanks for 9.22, and also, you know, generally in higher tiers, unless you're a tank destroyer, like APCR and some tanks, like Japanese tanks, have premium AP rounds. Those rounds are actually fairly balanced. Like, you get more penetration in your standard round, but say it's anywhere from like the new tier 9, it got down tiered to object 430, not the 430U. It's got 10 millimeters of pen more on its premium round, which is pretty crappy, but usually APCR is anywhere from like 10 to 50 millimeters plus. Whereas heat is the main problem here, to where they're balancing armored tanks around heat rounds, which have like 330 to 395 millimeters of pen. So it's just kind of, you know, it's crazy to where if they want to balance around that, you gotta balance every tank and basically make sure that you're not just favoring the new tanks coming out. So it's just something that I'm gonna do my best to explain it. It's pretty hard, you know, even explaining it, because there's so many different like factors, which is why I guess limited it just to tier 10. I could have done like tier 10, tier 9 and stuff all combined, but I'm actually gonna back off here because I can't hold this flank alone. Now, I know that I'm alone here. More or less, I do have quite a bit of support. I'm just worried if they push on my left here, which is it's a pretty strong possibility. I can get almost clipped out, I believe, by the AMX 5100. I don't know if he can 100% clip me out. But falling back completely here, I think is a mistake. I could be wrong, but as long as they don't flank me on my left, and if they come straight at me, they'll take more damage than I will take if my team's actually going to support me. But I'm mainly basing this off of there's no arty, so whatever we lose here, and of course I came up against a type 4 here, would have been another purple tank on the list here. Whatever ground we lose here, we're not getting it back. I guess got hit from that direction too. Yep, here comes the STB1. Yeah, I'm kind of boned now. My one shot. Kudos to that guy though. The type 4, I really wish that he would have pushed, but I got very minimum amount of assist damage there, which is what I was counting for. The T-34 or this 416 were actually spotting, like they spotted the STB1 coming around, but I was kind of hoping, you know, we did kill the one tank, but looking at it here, you know, if I fell back to where the rest of these people are, the enemy can push up pretty far. Like this T-34 is not going to last long. I was hoping though that Type 4 would push hard into me, everyone would hit him at once, and he'd basically kind of back off, but he stopped at the rock and got me stuck there. Oh well. Let me hop into the T10 now. But I did try to, you know, make the color coding somewhat, you know, easy to, you know, understand. But I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna make that video yet, because usually, you know, I don't make too many videos outside of like reviewing a tank, a weak spot guide or something. Hi. Nice to see GG and Tundra and Tommy. But tonight, you know, I'm gonna be putting up the Game of the Week poll, basically around 9:30ish. I'm gonna, you know, pick Tuesday night's game. Last week was PlayerUnknown's Battleground. Who knows what it will be this week? I kind of said in the chat a little bit before the stream that this will be 2 weeks from now. Probably not going to be streaming on Sunday, given that it's the Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know if Ryan and I are going to be doing anything, but more or less, you know, I know a lot of people watch the Super Bowl, so I might just push it to a different day that week. I might actually be able to get a quickie off here. Nope. Thank you very much, Super Conqueror. There goes any hope I had at squeaking a shot in. Hello, Daniel. I had high hopes of getting a little cheap shot, but they were pretty much gone. Alright, I don't care that I got hit by him because we should all be shooting at him. Can you please turn that back on? Or not. There are 2 living beings in this room, Ryan. It's alright.
I'm sorry, doggo. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, it's in 2 weeks, I believe, right? Because the Pro Bowl is next weekend.
What,
I don't
the
really...
Super Bowl?
Yeah. Pretty sure it's in 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first Sunday of February.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't really follow football, so...
Yeah. The Super Bowl is always the first Sunday of February, just like Thanksgiving is always the last Thursday of November, I believe.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you for the bounce. I know I'm getting hit from behind. I was not expecting to have to stay in this spot. Ooh, you swapped over to heat because you bounced once. I'm gonna let him go. That might end up being... Okay, thanks. I would say I very rarely play outside of the stream right now. Like if I am on outside of the stream, I'm mostly making videos. I kind of screwed up there. At the end of the day though, it would have been nice to have, you know, some help because these guys are, you know, literally just going to get shot here. Yep. Thank you, tier 10s, for the help there. Both of our tier 10s, you know, outside of the Badger, he's holding down that flank. They're both playing the kind of the support spot on this map, which, you know, it's useful. However, you know, we're down by 4 tanks because we didn't have anyone up there to kind of hold the hill. The Badger's, you know, holding this flank, which is fine for him to do. But we needed to be able to push, you know, the hill or this side. By having 2 tier 10s in the support area, which, you know, covers and helps a little bit this way, and it helps the hill mainly here, you know, that didn't help us out in the end. Oh well, though. You know, I definitely took a few shots I shouldn't have. I ended up with 1400 damage, but that's not on me there. Thanks for tipping Levi, Graham. Hello, Cut. Nice to see you. Hello, buddy. Alright, so let me hop into the T20 here.
Street hunter over there.
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan and I were testing out whether or not notifications actually worked. Some reason, notifications, I don't know if anyone here gets them, but I've noticed that for live streams, like even checking off in your YouTube settings, so if you go into basically your account settings and then basically there's a list of where everyone you're subscribed. You can manage your notifications, whether you get them never, sometimes, or all of them. Even checked off with all of them, say like on hers. Actually does not send out a notification for live streaming, or at least it didn't just now. Trying to figure out why it does that. It's a little bit strange. Thanks for the challenge, Victor. Tier 9 light tank? Sure thing. Anyone specifically, or you guys want me to pick one of them? I'm sure she'll pop back at some point here. She was doing a couple things for an assignment for school. Alright, I could have sworn that T-71 was gonna spot for us, but I guess not. I didn't announce it, but I did put it up there though. Okay, so you've been getting them, and a weak one. And some, yeah, I get them. Sometimes I get them late, say like 2 hours late. It's strange, and I'm mainly trying to figure it out because it comes up like support for YouTube. A lot of it's done like over like on forums and stuff, and mentioning it there, they ask, you know, kind of about your channel and also if you can provide details. That's why I'm trying to figure out as much as I can as well. Fortunately, you know, I'm bottom tier here and pushing is really up to the tanks around me. I don't think I'm going to be able to push at all. I would push somewhere else, but outside of maybe pushing, oh lord, maybe pushing like, alright, why is everyone falling back except for me? Maybe it should be the opposite, I think. Trying to keep him there. At least somebody knows where to shoot him. I can't. Okay, I probably can get a shot on him now. Go right under the mantlet. Please don't keep falling back, guys. You now have a dead tank you kind of play off of. Yep. Here comes Mr. Lorraine. Thank you very much, Lorraine. That was awesome. I'm glad I tracked him, or else he would have been able to shoot me one more time. But we're better off playing this flank right here. We're not doing too bad. Oh, why are you pushing, dude? You don't have a lot of armor. Trying not to get too much in the way of my teammates' shots, but this TD is crap. I really wish that had penned. I missed just a smidgen. Let's see if this T29. I almost thought that was a T69 for a second. He fires. I had HE for the A44. Well, yeah, our Artie should be doing well here, and I think they're aiming somewhere else, maybe at the Comet or something there. I use a little bit of, or mostly APCR in this little engagement, but it looked like it was going to make it or break it for our team. Like, we're up by 8, thank God, but if we had lost this little area, we would have been screwed. Good amount of assist damage, where you can get a lot of it. You know, it's not just spotting damage, to where tracking the Lorraine there, that netted me a ton of assist damage there. and something to where if you're looking, like if you do marks of excellence and stuff and care a lot about them, basically tracking tanks like that, not only did it help save me a little bit, I probably would have taken one more shot from that Lorraine, but it'll definitely help you and kind of the scoreboard. I think this, maybe he's not. I was like, I could have sworn he was gonna pop down. I do have there are ads occasionally when you first pop into the stream. I don't run them during the stream. I don't feel like there's a need to. You guys are always very generous with tipping, which thank you very much, Dana, for the tip. What do you mean by the Leo? The Leopard 1? A Leopard light tank? Which one? I'm assuming you mean probably the tier 10 medium. Sorry, E25, but you're just gonna get passed over by a couple of us here. I guess whiffed. I want a damaging shot. Now he's angled. Yeah. Yeah, the ads, the only ones I put on are in the start and the end of the stream, but they only occasionally pop up. It depends on if there's like a ad kind of queued up for like a specific person. I don't like put them in a queue. It's just they're based off of their interest-based ads, like most Google ads are. Trying not to get shot again, but I probably could have, yeah, let myself get hit. Oh. I probably should have used a EPCR round there too. Yeah. So I missed out on 2 shots worth of damage, but oh well. I was trying to be cheap there. As far as that Grigsby, some people will use like repair stuff like that on their crews before getting to a first 100% crew. However, more or less, I do brothers in arms on all of them because I'm not going to be able to reset all those crews. It's not feasible for me since I keep basically every tank that I buy, and I need crews for them all. So I just do brothers in arms for first skill, and then I pick like 6th sense and stuff. Got a mastery badge first class here though. Not a bad match in a T20 given the matchmaking and the map in general. That guy did a pretty good job. He was basically right behind me for most of it, but experience wise top 2 given that I got a lot of assist damage. Okay, I know I need to catch up on chat. Also, T92, Terry, would you like the light or the SPG? I assume you're gonna want the light tank, but there's 2 tanks by that name now. Add this to the shot before I forget. I was really focused for a lot of that battle since we had a little bit of, actually I do want to stay at tier 7. I actually haven't hopped into this guy yet. But as far as crew skills, I go brothers in arms and I play without the skill. But say like for the Emil here, some people would go like concealment, or sometimes people add like some of the perks like situational awareness and smooth ride, stuff like that for other tanks. And then once you get up to say like 99% or you get to your 2nd skill, they reset them, not reset for a different tank, but they reset their skills for credits or for free. You lose a few tanks worth, or not tanks, matches worth of experience from doing that. However, you do get the benefit of playing, it's about like your first 25, I would say, or so battles. Depends on how many personal reserves you have going. You do save that as far as you lose that amount resetting for credits or for free. if you don't use gold. Oh, you mean the Swedish one? Yeah, there's a lot of different leopard ones, so where, yeah, I completely forgot about that one. I know that's not technically leopard, but the Swedish medium, I don't think so. It's not the worst tank. I actually, when I was playing it, I swapped. You can use the smaller caliber gun on it, and you're basically just a slightly different Cromwell or Comet. I forget which. I think no Comet because tier 7, but you're just a slightly different one of those, or using the high caliber gun, which is what I kind of swapped back to, and I think I have it like that now. I ended up liking that better. Really all you lack is a little bit of accuracy and pen, but you have a pretty hard hitting gun to where if you're facing off against a lot of mediums and lights and stuff, more or less it's going to be a pretty good tank. But it definitely, it's just hard to play. It's not bad, it's hard to play given some maps it's really difficult, others like more open maps it's a little bit more easy. Yeah, like I don't spend any of the bond stuff because eventually I am gonna use get like a permanent piece of equipment, but you could do that. Like John said, use bonds to buy 6th Sense and stuff if you don't have it. I just, you know, I don't mind playing without 6th Sense. Like, as long as if I know that I, you know, don't have it, a lot of times I can just, you know, keep a little bit closer eye on where I'm going and where I can get spotted from. I might regret going out here. I haven't decided yet. It's just I know going to the town, you know, this thing doesn't have much armor going for it. So, more or less, I probably could have shot him, but more or less, you know, I'm not going to head to the town to where I have a feeling it would be really difficult for me to do anything. I'm kind of hoping, you know, we have a T-71 going to potentially scout here, which is nice. Really terrified that he's going, nope, he should not die there. Hellcat was over here, but whether I hit him is really up to RNG. I think I did hit that Hellcat. I really need to catch up on chat here. Crap. I completely messed that one up. I'm sorry, T-71DA. I'm not going to be able to get to you. He might actually make that out. He made it out of that. Well, that is one thing about mastery badges, that it doesn't show you how close you are from actually getting to the next level. But usually I only get mad if, like, sometimes if I have played a tank a lot and I know I don't have an ace for it and I get a first class, I'm like, ugh. That's the second damaging shot because I'm 90% sure I hit the Hellcat. I don't think I'm going to get much else though, because, you know, I know or knew going out here there's a likelihood that, you know, I wasn't going to be able to accomplish too much, but heading to the town I probably would have gotten, you know, 2 full shots off. It's just trying to use this tank, you know, in a closed situation like in a town with a rear turret and kind of how the tank's set up with poor armor. It was definitely going to be difficult to actually getting damage off there without taking a lot in return. So I kind of rolled the dice, but at least we're going to win this one pretty easily here. I was here for moral support. Which thanks Grigsby and Lobobo for the tips. But yeah, as far as, you know, playing without the crew skills, it's just like if I didn't keep a lot of tanks and didn't need a lot of crews, I would go the method that I said otherwise, you know, where you start with, say, like repair or camo or something, and once you get your first crew skill, drop it, retrain it for like 6 cents, stuff like that, and then you work towards brothers in arms and stuff. But more or less I go for the long term. It takes me a lot of times to get those crew skills, but it's just economically, you know, it's not really feasible. But not exactly the best match here. But I'm gonna hop into the challenge here. We have a tier 9 light tank up for a challenge from Victor. So let me get into this one. I've got, I think he said a bad one, so I'm grinding it, but it's gonna be the RU-251. You probably were joking, but yeah, this is the one I perform worse in, so I'm gonna go with that. And of course I got a city map, so that does not help out very much for me. So I'm gonna have to do 1.5 times the HP total, 2,100 between damage, assist, and blocked. So this is gonna be really hard. Also considering they have 2 Object 907s on the enemy team. Yeah, this is gonna be a doozy. I have no idea, Tundra. If Ryan was still in the background, I could ask her, but yeah, I've got no idea for laundry. She might actually have went to bed because she has school and she's got a pretty busy week ahead of her here. This is probably not gonna turn out good. Really hoping somebody shoots those. Oh lord, no, 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 no. Run away, Cody. Why did I stay here? I knew this was going to happen. This might be over before it started here. Yep. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna get a 0-0-0. Nope. Very close to it though. If someone was back near their base, they would have killed me. This is the worst fear that I had here though, is they have 2 907s where we actually cannot penetrate these guys that much. Like we can, but actually pulling it off is another thing. Yeah, I can't fight here. We're just gonna get kind of rolled over here by their team. I don't know why I pulled in front of him. But yeah, this is gonna be a really bad match. Congrats on the winning the challenge here. Unless I have some miracle and I can run away here and then somehow do like 2,000 assist damage. Yep, this is gonna be a... But it's not even just that the 907s are... They are a little bit too strong. Most know it, that just because of the amount that they can side scrape, they're a little bit too tough. Like penning this guy on the side is going to be next to impossible in this tank. But that's part of the reason why the Object 257, which they got a little bit cocky there, that actually helped us out. That's why the Object 257 is a little bit too tough. The side armor. The tank, otherwise, you know, there's nothing terribly unbalanced about it, but... Alright, at least I survived, but trying to do something on a city map with 74 HP is going to be next to impossible. I knew it though, you know, heading to where I did, with the tanks that they had, I pretty much should have known that I was going to run into that exact situation there. Oh lord, thank you guys. Yeah, I pretty much resigned to the fact I'm not going to get 2,100 damage. Yeah, he can splash kill me there. Go for it, T-62A. He gets bounced off of him. Oh, Lord. Yeah, that wasn't like my only hope there. Hello, nice cuppa. I should have, if I knew I was getting this map, the tier 9 lights I have, I would have went with the AMX 1390. That would have been the best, which is one of the strengths of the French lights. You know, you don't want a map like this, but in a French light, at least you have an autoloader, and you can pump out a bit of damage in a shot, or like a burst. Not in one shot, but yeah. Congrats on winning, Victor. Can I kill Windex here? Woo! Thanks for ruining my match, 907. I kind of did it to myself, though. Yes. I saw that, Carl, about Philly doing that. I'm not too surprised. Whether they win or lose, something bad is going to happen in Philly. Not a great match here for me, but surprisingly, you know, I'm not too far down when it came to experience and damage. I still ended up doing all right for the match that I had starting out there. Oh, Lord. All right, so let's move along from that one. All right, so Levi has a pick now. Let me hop into, let's see, I'm kind of something different here. I played the Badger right before the stream, kind of get me on a high note there. Why don't I, I'll stick with the light theme. I'll play the WZ1321. There's no set date for 9.22 Kappa. Best guess is end of the first week to beginning of the second week of February. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have more videos out about the patch, like the tanks, and also, like I showed in the beginning of the stream, that image about kind of some power creep. I need to figure out how I'm actually gonna formulate everything in that video so it's not just me rambling for like 20 minutes. I do that a lot. See you, Graham. Hope you have a very good Monday. Okay, anybody heading to the town? Anybody? And no. I guess nobody wants to win. Going with the not push any meaningful place. I guess I'm gonna push over to the center. It's just, you know, as a light, I can't exactly push the town. Like, sometimes I do like to push the town, like, if I have enough people behind me, but I'm not just gonna push out there if there's nobody to kind of back me up. And of course I hit him there. Oh, Lord. Not expecting to see a T69. Hit him for 460 damage. He's probably a little bit mad at me. See if I can get him to waste a shot. Ooh, he actually damaged me. I didn't think I was that far out. That's why I was surprised to see him there. I'm going to have to start to fall on back here. Alright, got a little bit of packet loss there. My turret keeps jerking here for some reason. Not where I want to find myself, but where my team needs me. I'm kind of hoping somebody comes helps me pick up this 430. Whether it's Artie or the Lorraine, I see the other 430 here. This guy's coming right for me here. Alright, you just... Excellent. I'm kind of hoping... Oh, no! Oh, I was so close. I got him, though. I guess that counts. He was falling in, and I accidentally... Or no, he's actually going to make it out there. Nope. Well, we both died. That was actually pretty funny. I actually would have made it out, but I stupidly... I went off a little too far. I could have slowed down and kept going. At least I don't feel too bad, because my team's going to win. And... Oh, God. Well, that happened. Happens a lot on this map, though, for me. But that was actually pretty funny. I'm actually going to save that clip. That might be good for, like, an outro or something. For, like, my video. Alright. So, moving along. Let me hop into the Indian Panzer. It's not the first time. It's the first time I've drowned myself there, to be honest, but not the first time I've drowned myself on that map like that. See, that's where, you know, like maps like that, where there's like, most maps don't have that kind of feature to map design. Like Fisherman's Bay has a couple spots where you can flip off like that, but I think more maps should have stuff like that that can kill you. Granted, that could pose some problems. However, you know, I think it is kind of, I don't get mad when I do it because I know that it's kind of my fault. But I ran there hoping the 430 would drown himself, and he did. However, I was so close to surviving that, but I was going so fast because if I slowed down before I made that corner and he basically fell off a little bit, he would have been able to ram me and I would have spun out and basically fell off anyway. Which I don't know if you can actually see behind. No, you can't actually see me behind. Right behind my head there, those two black things. I actually did get those helmets, the military surplus helmets I was talking about. I still need to, I need to clean them a little bit and fix them a little bit. They're fine as far as, you know, there's nothing like terribly wrong with them. They are used, but I do have to fix the one to get it to actually, so I can have, this headset does not fit in it. I need to kind of, I bought a $4 pair of headphones to put in it, so I still need to do that, but they're here. This is gonna be a treat on this flank. Taking a pot shot there because I knew he was gonna back into cover. Kind of hoping that I have someone to spot because I don't want to push out far, but yeah, I'm going to have to. Alright, could you please don't go where that Fury went? Alright, so I'd say I knew I can kind of get a shot there. Just please don't die. Awesome, thanks for tracking him. M4 hit me there. Oop, there's a little bit of arty coming for me too. The M4, I'm just gonna spot him because I might... Nah, that's not worth it. So I might be able to squeak a shot off, but now I have that TD and maybe the M4A3E2 back there because somebody with a pretty fast firing gun was shooting at me. Hello, Cosmin. Tundra, as far as your laundry goes, yeah. Bleach doesn't fix white. You know, buy a new thing. But you know, it basically just Google it. You keep asking over and over. Google will be the best fix for that. To where I know that you're not just a random drive-by troll, but it is pretty. You've been asking for like 20 minutes here. It's not a laundry stream. I should have figured that. I just screwed up this flank. Thank you for the challenge again, GG. Hopefully I'm a little bit more luckier this time. Thank you, Chaser, for the subscription. I shouldn't have taken that last shot from the TD, but kinda took my eyes off for a second. Okay, Type 62, don't back up a lot. This guy's actually got gun depression to where I'm really hoping we needed to get one shot on him, and unfortunately we didn't get that. Of course he was... I didn't want to actually shoot him, but I'm pretty much a goner at this point. Ram him a little bit, but I might be able to get to where only one tank can hit me here. I can't kill the E2, but I can kill him. This guy's gonna definitely get me and let... Ooh, he bounced. One more shot, because it is really close here. I squeaked out more damage there, but that's a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. But I screwed up. I took damage I shouldn't have. I would say 2 shots worth I took. I should not have even damaged. Hello, nice guy. Yes, nice Kappa. Any tank I have, you know, it's a fully upgraded when I play it. That's why I always have that free XP. You know, some people ask why I have so much and don't use it. It's basically so I don't play stock tanks. Excuse me. I had the hiccups. I was drinking soda before the stream here. Alright, so let me start a giveaway here. Winner gets 1,000 Levi biscuits. Thank you very much, Randall and Morgana, for switching the overlay here. That. Whoops. I picked the wrong one. Let me fix that again here. Retro overlay. Get this queued up here. Okay. What? Hey, can you not just type in the stream chat? That's... Sorry if he's messaging you a lot. But, yeah. Yes, nice Kappa. That's why I have all the free experience. I would say most people, Grigsby, probably play a small amount of tanks in general. Thanks for the subscription, guys. Alright, so up after this, I'll probably... But yeah, a lot of people like looking at like people posting screenshots of their garages and stuff, and I've seen it asked before. A lot of people only have like, I'd say even some, like unless you're talking about people that play like Clan Wars and stuff like that who have a pretty wide selection, a lot of people I would say have under 20 tanks in their garage at any given time. I'm actually going to go on this side for a very rare occurrence. We should have enough over there. We'll see. What equipment? The same as most heavy tanks: optics, rammer, and whatchamajig, vertical stabilizer. I'm not heading over here anymore. It sucks because I'm a really slow tank, but I'm too far away now to go to the other flank. I just don't know why the WZ-111-5A, not very good at pushing head-on into tanks because it doesn't have a ton of frontal armor, would turn around and choose to go to a flank to where I only consider going here if I have a ton of frontal armor on my tank and I don't really have a turret, because, you know, it kind of makes sense to go to a flank to where worst case scenario I guess kind of hunker down. But I don't know why he would turn all the way around to come over here. Now the guys that went ahead of us here, like, they're basically all dead already. I don't know why you would push in those tanks as well, but given that my 111's over here, I'm gonna push out and hope that he does not ditch me. Okay. I know I'm behind you, but it was for a good cause and I missed him. Just trying to hit the bat chat. Because I knew he was going to pop out. I'm actually really surprised he just penned me from that distance without heat. And I missed him again. I don't even know where he penned me. Did he pen me? Crap, he penned me at the lower plate from that distance. That's just lucky. I feel better though, knowing that it was not a heat round. I know it just came down to RNG, but ooh, that hurt. Yeah, I am going to fall back once I can get untracked, but that was a little bit of a gaffe by me. I did not remember that there's a SU. Yeah. Just should have left me, but thanks for trying to help me. He's gonna die now because of me. I feel bad, but he could have just left me there and I would have sucked it up. Doesn't help though. we lost our other flank. Oh, holy crap, how did that guy die? Alright, I don't think I can finagle. Oh, he's actually taking damage. No, I got no repair kit. Oh well. I shouldn't have taken the panic shot. I would have actually had this guy here had I not taken that panic shot. No. The fight of the century, but not really. Awesome. We're still gonna lose this, but not exactly the best played match, I would say, on my part, but our team, we didn't make a very good showing elsewhere. Congrats, Grigsby, on winning the raffle. I'm glad, though, I won that little bit of a brawl there. That one big hit from the SU, though, he's probably going to end up getting me here, but I thought he was going to push into me sooner. Their 183 just killed that guy for some reason. I wonder what he did. I'm going to take my shot because maybe I'll get lucky and I get one more shot here. I don't know how lucky I'm going to be though, honestly. This oh-ho, yeah, he just tracked me. Someone's going to be coming up behind me here. Yeah, I missed. I'd be screwed. Oh well. We have a RU-251, a Comet. Hello, Hunter. Yeah, like the AT-7, AT-8, or yeah, AT-7, AT-8, the AT-2, stuff like that. They're pretty slow. Like I actually skipped past them when I initially did the. Somehow I got top 2 damage. I should not have gotten that. When I initially got the 183 years ago, I skipped past them. I don't think he's banned from the stream chat, but his name wasn't under there. But more or less. Alright, so I have an ultimate challenge coming up here. I'm getting a little bit lost tonight, so let me get this set up. So GG bought a ultimate challenge here, so I'm gonna have to spin to see what type of tank I play for it, and I'm gonna have to do 2.5 times the HP total in damage. Now I know what I forgot. I actually forgot to get coffee tonight. That's what I'm missing. I thought I was missing something streaming, and I forgot to do that. Oh well. Maybe if I die early and it's like a interesting fight, I'll actually pop out and get something here. So I have to play a tier 10 heavy tank. That's 3 in a row that I've gotten this. Alright. So tier 10 heavies coming up. Hello, Josh. Nice to see you. Make sure I gotta pull this down. Tier 10 heavy. Let's see. What'll I pick? Like I've done a mouse recently. I forget what else I've done. I'll pick a T125. It's just something I've played a lot of this, but I haven't played it a lot for challenges here. So I'm going to have to get to, let's see, 5,500. The wheel's rigged. Hello, Damien. The object was trying to shoot my track, but given the tank he was in, he actually couldn't hit it very reliably that close. Thanks for the subscription, Python. Honestly, it's just luck or not luck, because, you know, winning these things, it's not like I am guaranteed to pull one out for tier 10 heavy, but just... Oh lord, we have a lot more heading here than we should, but I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna really hope I do not mess this up by dying early, because I have a lot of TDs. Some of them are fast, so I'm really hoping I can at least get to this rock. I'm gonna play this aggressive. It could go very, very wrong here. Alright, they already have sent 7. That's not a good sign for me, given my team is probably not going to be high on pushing, but at least that Centurion stopped. Their TVP didn't push. That's actually good for me. That hurt though a little bit. Out of all tanks, the SU-100-01 penned me. Got a T-2065 behind me. I'm kind of hoping this guy, if he moves to his left, I will be in a pretty good spot. I played so much of the E5 though, and it is pretty similar to the E3 as far as the armor, to where I can bounce. I can bounce a lot more than you typically would expect in this thing, as long as I don't have multiple tanks shooting at me. But I knew pushing, it was definitely, you know, slightly a risk to push like that. I'm trying to spot quite a few people here. Crap, I actually over-angled there. I didn't spot as much as I thought I was. There we go, I got a little bit more there. The E5 just learned why you don't push past that rock. I do a little stop here to where you still have a bit of cover from people directly in front of you, and you don't get yourself overextended. Now he should be fine because they pedaled back a little bit. But thank you very much for the challenge, GG. I took a pretty big gamble in the beginning, but luckily it paid off for me. Ooh, a lot of people actually push to where I can't actually do this now. As far as expecting to assist a lot here, so there we go. It does help though that, you know, I am top tier here, but with their TDs, they could have messed me up pretty well if I wasn't careful. Don't have a repair kit yet, but luckily that TVP can't stay out there without dying. Artie, where are you? Oh god. Thought he was a little bit more to his left. I'm really glad I picked the E5 here. Let me just say that. Just in case he bounces. Not that he should bounce off a Scorpion G. I would say, not that I single-handedly wrecked that flank, but that was pretty effective there. Holy hell, where the hell did you come from? I wasn't even turning there, like, oh my god. But thank you very much for the challenge, GG. That was a fun one. I got you on this one. So. I'm not even going to bother going after the mouse. There's so many people ahead of me that they'll be able to get them before I can get that way. What do you mean by that, Grigsby, as far as the Tier 8 crew trainer? But yeah, that was pretty good there, that battle. Yes, you are still ahead of me. Thank you very much for the challenge though. That was a fun battle. I don't bring the E5 out much anymore unless it gets requested, but surprisingly it's only a first class. I'm actually a little shocked by that, but the E5 is still good given people do kind of look down on it since it got its turret nerfed, but it still performs pretty well because it can mesh into a lot of different roles. The Leopard did an awesome job. He was definitely soaking up a lot of that assist damage that I was, helping facilitate. He was probably the bulk recipient of that, but most amount of experience. That's why, as far as like base experience here, like I did 3,369 damage. However, it was such a great match because I blocked over 3,000. I did 4,400, but in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the base experience here, a little bit under 1,100. Usually tier 10 for aces, you start kind of seeing them at like 1,150, but more, a little bit closer to 1,200 base experience for most tanks. The higher end of some, is closer to 13 at times, but still pretty darn good match. Plus a lot of that came from lower tier tanks, which had a little bit to play with that, but pretty good match there. Thank you very much for the challenge. Let me do the fixins for first class here. So, got that. Next tank I'm gonna have up is the SP1C. Saving that replay, because that was a pretty fun replay there. But SP1C's up next. Oopsie daisy. No, that's the HW12 SP1C. Go. As far as like the super purging, it does have a few benefits. A, it's one of the cheapest tier 8 premiums. B, it does perform pretty well. The main downside of it is, it doesn't play like other mediums, especially other American mediums, but more or less, Foreplay is actually on the other team. He watches this stream quite a bit. He's in the IS. A lot of its weak spots are on the top of the turret, and parts of it, the turret itself, are the weakest areas of it frontally. So a lot of people, if they do know where to hit you, the armor doesn't hold up well. But I would say, if you're looking for a crew trainer, super purging isn't bad. You'll save a little bit of gold, or money on it, buying it. To where if you don't mind that type of tank, a little bit slower, more focused on a little bit more armor wise, but the gun on it is pretty decent given the APCR does have a lot of pen, so you'll be able to pretty much penetrate anything given that you only see up to tier 9. But I would say the M46 KR is better, and then nobody's gonna chase me here. Nobody got a shot off when I was spotting them. I'm still like 200,000 away from the tier 10 German light. It's nearly 300,000 experience to get that tank unlocked, given that there's not a lot of modules for the German lights. So a lot of it's tied up for, the experience to unlock the tank, which that's what I grind out. I'll skip past, grinding out module experience. But I grind out all the experience for specific tanks. They don't have much on this side. They have enough that I personally can't push, given there's like a Scorpion G back there, but it's actually an FV40 or 4202 back there. Really, I don't mind the gun on this sometimes, but I always do it to remind myself that it fires very, very slow. Really? 0 damage crit? Ah, they found me. I've got to bugger out here. Our team is definitely in shambles, to say the least. Oh god. I stayed here a little long. No. There's a Scorpion G that popped out there, and I'm like, he's gunning for me. This was a really bad match, though. Not just for me, but we lost a lot of tanks. It's not necessarily the other side's fault. We just lost a lot of tanks over there because the enemy pushed so hard. Should have taken that shot when I had the chance, because I would be loaded right about now. Crap, I missed that shot too. Yeah, I know you're gonna come and kill me. Oh well. I tried the best I could there, but that was a team as a whole fail. Hello, person from Odessa. Nice to see you. Hello, Morphine as well. I can add the 183, or no, not the 183, the IS3, if it was requested. Why did I read 183 there? Oh god. Alright, how are you still alive? I was just gonna wait for the end because, you know, the end game screen is just gonna load anyway. But I have a standard T-34 after this. I gotta remind myself, because it has a dash in it, that I assume it's the T-34 medium. But yeah, we got clobbered. I don't know how I placed in the top 4 when it comes to damage, but we definitely got clobbered there. There's no other way to put it. Here 5, 4 here, which I did forget. I remember now. The Indian Panzer crew skills. It's just, you know, of course this, but optics, V stabilizer, and a rammer. Standard equipment. Nothing different there as far as the equipment goes. Pretty sure that's the tank you're asking to see the equipment and stuff on. But usually, you know, I've run the same equipment. Once you get the tanks that use vertical stabilizers, you run that setup. The only difference is, like, sometimes you might have to drop, say, like optics on a tank with a really long aim time, or, you know, if they don't have vents, you know, or not vents, if they don't have a vertical stabilizer, you can use something else like vents. So yeah, it's one of those things, but that's the standard setup I use for the majority of my tanks. But after this battle, I will pull up the poll for Tuesday's game here. Which it will be interesting as far as the 9.22 test. We should see there should be a second version of it, kind of a iteration where they tweak some things. That should happen probably end of this week, because usually they go about a week at a time. Sometimes they last a little bit longer, but we should see a couple changes, because like, I plan on making at least a video about it, the Object 257. I already made a weak spot guide for it, given that, you know, a lot of people were asking about the armor, where I plan on making like a review video of it. But that tank, it needs to be tweaked. If it was tier 10, it would be a completely different story, because while the armor still would be very tough to deal with, you wouldn't be basically seal clubbing tier 7s with it. That's what it kind of feels like right now. I don't know why he was trying to fight that close in Electo, but I did not mind shooting him. Kind of waiting. There's a few people behind me that are playing it a little bit safe. Kind of waiting for them, because I would like to... Alright, you're actually going to push up. I will fall back then. Just waiting for them, you know, mainly the type... Come on. We can do it. Just I don't want to push too early. I'm kind of annoyed that I let the M4 get a shot on me. Here we go. I don't want to lose too much HP unless my team, you know, is actually getting shots off. I don't mind it then. As long as they're actually shooting at them, you know, I don't mind soaking up a little bit of damage if it leads to us winning this flank a little sooner. I'm not spending too much time aiming here because I know the M4... I probably should kill that guy, but the M4 seems to be aiming a little bit better. The M4 doesn't have the most accurate gun, to where I was trying... There we go, I got him finally, tracked. I was trying basically, I guess, wiggle around, because his aiming circle was always going to be large like that. Now that he's kind of on the run, we're only up by 2. It seems like we're doing better than that, but a lot of our tanks are kind of stuck in this area. Need to start pushing that way though. Whoops. Sorry, Lago. I literally did not see you coming. But I don't know why we're all frozen here. Like... I don't get this. Lacey understood. Like, literally, they all just stopped. Like, it's follow the T-34 right now, but we're gonna get capped out if we're not... Of course the bishop hit me. I don't have 6th sense, given that, you know, this is a new crew. It's just, I don't have the luxury right now of stopping to wait. We only have a minute left on the cap, and if they put one more on it, then we're definitely screwed here. This bishop's able to hit me. M3 for not being very aware of where the enemy was coming from. Oh crap, the martyr's there and the bishop. He is riding off into the sunset. This gun is tanking shots there. At least we're gonna win this. It's alright if you don't know English. Unfortunately, you know, I only can read and respond to English, but... yeah, the game is most popular, you know, when it comes to non-English speaking communities, so I'm never surprised, you know, people pop into the stream, even though I'm an English speaker, that can't type English very well. Luckily, Google Translate, it's okay. It's at least understandable. Pretty good match though, 1200 damage. I'm about to say, I knew I could. Yeah, I might as well just let him die, because I don't think he can hit me. I just didn't want to lose my cap points. But they should be able to kill him before we cap here. Dogie. There we go. Yes. Yeah, I don't know, the martyr there, he did the right thing by pushing, because it was safer for him north than it would be south, but pretty good fight. Got a first class again. I haven't played this tank all too much. You can kind of, some of these were left over from other tanks as far as the crew skills, but first class, 5 kills, 1300 damage. Pretty good battle there. Thanks for requesting that tank. Let me get another one of those almost an ace into the shop here. Alright, so I need to remember to do the poll. So remembering how this works, you type !vote, then you have to pick its number 1 through 6 for it. So when it pops up in the chat, you'll see basically a number associated with the games. It's going to be the same as last week, to where number 1's Dreadnought, number 2's Overwatch, number 3's PlayerUnknown's Battleground, number 4 is World of Warplanes, 5 is World of Warships, number 6 is Destiny 2. So let's pop that. So you don't actually type the name of the game, you type, you know, !vote 1 through 6. It doesn't cost anything to actually participate, so you know, feel free to vote for anything you would like to see me play for Tuesday night. Lorraine 40T here. Hello, Sasuke. I think I said hi. I don't remember. Sometimes, like, I'm saying something and I read the chat and I say like hello in my head, and poof, goes right out the window after that. Of course, I get Ensk. I don't mind that I'm bottom tier right now, but Ensk is kind of a hard map, but even more difficult that it's encounter. And usually the fight gets decided, you know, on this side, but pushing out in a tier 8 with no armor, not exactly the smartest decision I can make doing there. But, you know, feel free, the vote is up for 10 minutes, so there's plenty of time to vote. Even if it seems like it's leading a lot on the screen, I've had a few before to where it looks, usually these are decided between 1 to 2 votes. So definitely, you know, if you want to see a specific game, vote for it, because, you know, all it takes sometimes is like 4 or 5 total votes for a game to actually get played. Okay, thanks for doing that, I guess. Unfortunately, my team, like me pushing out here, I mainly went out here because I knew I couldn't really do much on the other side, but it would be nice if like the other guys that actually have a little bit of armor behind me would actually get out of the camping line. Stupid trees. P92 though, I'm gonna run into him here, and I completely blew that shot, but at least he's dead. I'm gonna have to honestly go back to the other flank though. We'll see though. Because this Type 4 is pushing straight down there. Could have like a Yag Tiger or something else, but this is gonna be over before any of these guys actually do anything. That's what kills it from Menz encounter on this side, is so much of your team camps back here. I know I pushed out on that side, but just something to where it gets frustrating after like the 30th time. I don't want to fight out over on this side at all. Making the best of it before... Oh, the hell? I literally just clicked there. I knew Artie was going to hit me, so I had to move. I clicked and it did not register. Awesome. That's something I keep seeing. It's behind my overlay in the top left, the packet loss indicator. It keeps flashing red, so I'm having something... it's not on my end though, because I'm not getting any lag for streaming. Typically if I have packet loss and it's on my end, I drop frames for the stream, and I'm not doing that. That's something on Wargaming's end here. Right? At least we're up by 1. We're making a little bit of a comeback. My new weapon's the shotgun. The new French... There's quite a few of them, Red Panda. There are actually 4 of them. Actually, 5 of them. Granted, FCM's older. But it's basically the AMX M4 49, 51, 54, and AMX 65T you're thinking of. Anybody else gonna take a shot here? I am ammo racked. Yeah, I'm gonna take... Unfortunately, I'm ammo racked here, and we're down by 4 now. Like, we went from being up by 1 to down by 4 in the span of, like, I don't know, 5 seconds. But yeah, I'm dead by Artie. Oh well. Did 3,400 damage, being bottom tier. It's not on me here. I was trying to pull something out, but oh well. Looks like I'm going to be streaming World of Warplanes though. So no PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds like we did last week. Hello, Robert. But yeah, last, I don't cheat, person that's asking me. Anybody that does cheat, I fully support Wargaming banning them right away. Or any game for that matter. But... You know, World of Warplanes, it looks like I'll be streaming that. There's still 4 minutes left, so there could be other votes, which, see ya, Cuppa. But, more or less, you know, I say it every week to where if I do have a kind of opening to where I can stream a extra stream, I basically pull from whatever does come in second place, which right now... It looks tied between Player Battlegrounds and World of Warships. So that's why I say, you know, it's worth voting, even if something is kind of out ahead. It's worth voting for it because, you know, one of these days I will have an extra stream here. Top damage, though, my team, really shocked. And I even got top damage by 1,200. Most amount of damage in the match, too, at that. But Enemy team did an excellent job. Almost all their players over 1,000 damage, so kudos to them for completely turning the tide there at the end and wiping us out. Let me start. I got so many of these things, I always forget to pop them off here. Well, let me just do that one. Alright, so I have a T92 light coming up next here. At least I hope it was a light tank. That's actually a pretty good, what is it, anagram, I think, Floyd? See ya. I forget where you're from, but see ya. He said it earlier. World of Warplanes, you know, if anyone does want to play together, since, you know, the matches almost always, you know, you get in and get out at the same time. Unless you die really fast and you run out of respawns. I don't mind playing together when it comes to that. You know, if you want to play a match, I can. A lot of the planes I am either grinding or have would probably be like tier 4, tier 5-ish. But you know, I don't mind playing at least a match. Thanks for tipping Levi a biscuit. You wanna give him one?
Sure. 100% shocked that the Eagles are not losing. And there's only 2 minutes left.
That's good. Well, a lot of people that are Eagles fans apparently were not very confident that their team would win today. That's why people hate Eagles fans.
I'm not a fan of anybody.
Well, yes. But the amount of people that, you know, we have seen say like, oh, they're not going to win, or, you know, they were mad that the Patriots won. Not that we follow football. Is shocking. Way to have confidence in your team. I guess that's why they.
You don't even want to get up?
I get that. I guess that's why they grease those telephone poles. I'm probably gonna regret sitting up here as far as I am. Oh god, I can't even shoot. Spare me, AC4.
I know. I didn't even. I threw him up and he was like, you need to serve me.
Yeah. Carl, when it comes to buffering, if you mean that for YouTube, like it'll freeze and you see the little thing and it buffers, that basically just turned the resolution from 1080 down to 720. I stream at a pretty high bitrate to where, like, if you look at a few things, like if you ever get into streaming, like Twitch and YouTube do recommend streaming at lower bit rates than what I do, because a lot of people actually don't have the download speed to watch without buffering. I took my eyes off for a second and they swarmed me. Kudos to them. But also trying to explain this, to where I stream, yeah, what, 40, I think it's like 4,800, let me see, kilobits, yep, 4,800 kilobits a second. They recommend 3,500 or below, but just turn down your resolution and it will fix that. And if you have the chat open and it's not full screen, like the video, you won't notice that much of a difference. But I got clobbered there. Granted, I wasn't even looking at the minimap. That's my fault for starting to talk about something different there. Getting into the M44 though. Sorry for whoever requested the T92 there. But I'll be playing World of Warplanes, you know, for Tuesday night. Thanks for voting, guys. That has nothing to do with your computer if you're losing internet connection. As long as, you know, unless there's something wrong on the inside, which it very rarely would be. Has something wrong with your internet provider. I have not taken a look at them, Panda, so I can't comment on that. As far as Grigsby, which thank you very much for the tip, whether the other American Tier 8 premiums will come back, it's really hard to say. I would say the closest, like, you might see, like, the M46KR does pop up a few times a year. You know, it is difficult to say. I'm not sure if it's... They post every month, like, kind of an outlook for the month, and they do list tanks that aren't, like, new releases that they're going to be selling. It could pop up, say, next month. You know, you never know. I would say we probably would see it. I would say definitely by summer we will see an M46KR be sold. Okay, random shot here. And it missed. I would say definitely by then. Which I got myself to the wrong spot here. Alright. But I would say 100% that if you're only on, say, like DSL, if you're watching at the full resolution, that's half of the problem. Because I don't think DSL can actually download basically the bitrate that I stream at full quality. But that's why I like YouTube, because it goes all the way down to 144p. Thank you again, Lavovo, for the tip. I knew that was coming. Are you gonna pull up M4? I haven't played Arty in a very long time. See if I can actually... I'm just looking to... No. And I missed. Why wouldn't I miss? At least our team's doing well on this side. As far as map control, we are down by a tank. So far away without a lot of splash. I think he's gonna make it that far. Nope. I would aim somewhere else, but nobody else has spotted it. And I'd move somewhere else to be able to hit him, but there's literally no other spots for me to head on El Haloof. Oh well, we might actually see a 0 damage match here if I'm gonna get lucky here. I'm not the best Arty player in the world either. It actually gets spotted here if he makes it all the way up. Hey, there's someone I can hit now that he's lit up here, if I have enough time to actually aim in. Oh, can we talk about this? Please just stay right there. 48 damage. I'll have to take that. Yeah. Oh, this match is riveting. I don't mind playing Arty from time to time though. It's just some matches definitely can be clunkers like this. At least other matches, if I like die early or something, it's interesting seeing me get torn to bits. Hopefully I can get a few more hits off here. I'm not too high on... I'll try to hit this guy. Not too high on the Chinu being able to get shot again in time. I hit basically right where he was, so either he moved or I'd at least splashed him. Yeah, I did hit him. Awesome. Alright. Please stay right there. Whoa, don't turn too much. That missed by a bit. Alright. Awesome. I am really shocked that M44 could actually hit that guy, and that guy could not fire back at him. M44 is either really lucky or that guy wasn't even trying to shoot. Let's say, hopefully I can get the track here and get a little assist, but yeah, I got a little bit there. Well, at least I didn't get, you know, kind of locked out of everything there. Hello CJ, nice to see you. Yeah, internet rates are pretty expensive. Like, I honestly want a better one than I have currently, because I would be able to do a lot more with the stream. As far as, like, the quality right now is good for the internet connection I have, but I would be able to do, which the comment did a very nice job there, I'd be able to do a lot more if I had like another 5 megabytes a second upload. Which I'm guessing the Eagles won because I hear a bunch of fireworks going off in the background. Yes, they did win. God help us. But we have a French light. Anyone in particular? I would say that's an accurate assessment of this tank, yes. I'll say, you know, right now, you know, I always do the disclaimer of this isn't actually a bad tank. It's just right now I'm kind of over grinding light tanks, and this is the last, outside of the Russian lights I haven't even started. This is the last light tank line I still have to grind. It's just when I saw you need it, like 290,000 experience to go from the RU with all the modules unlocked to the tier 10 RHM Panzer. I was just like, ugh, it's gonna take me like 5 years to get it. If I had a higher bitrate, I could do, I'd have to get 4K displays, but I'd be able to do 1080p 60 FPS. So on YouTube, that would give you everything from 1080p 60 FPS down to 144p. But I could also switch for certain games the way my stream gets encoded. Right now I do it on the CPU, which does provide better quality, but I could switch it to a GPU encoding option if I had a higher bitrate, which would help on certain games that use a lot of CPU. Which I would say, this is why I hate to say, I really want the Eagles to lose the Super Bowl, but just hearing, I just heard someone like speed by my house at like 40 miles an hour, like kind of peel out a little bit. The Eagles, when they win, tend to cause more trouble when they lose. Just for reference, people usually go like 10 miles an hour in my neighborhood. I don't live in like on a main road or anything. Awesome, I missed again. Thank you very much. I have the worst luck in this thing. Granted, that last shot I did aim a little bit low, but as far as, you know, discussing football, please, I don't know who's fans of who here. Like, I personally don't care too much about football. I don't follow it. But, you know, don't make fun of anyone else's teams. I don't know if anybody is in the chat, but I don't want anybody, you know, getting a fight over football. Oh, that Sense 7 just blew right past me. He still has shells. Hey, please, just go aim at somebody else. I have heat just because there are a couple bits I could bounce off of him. Well, no. My perspective on it is, you know, because everyone around here likes the Eagles because we're near Philly, but when they win more, that's when there's more vandalizing things. But, yeah. Very glad that they greased the poles in Philly, though. If you don't know what that reference is, someone mentioned it earlier in the stream. Just Google it and it'll pop up on the news. So people couldn't jump on top of street lights and traffic lights. I stupidly died there. I shouldn't have. It's because honestly I'm talking about football that I watch a grand total of like one football game a year. Anyway, let me get on to the comment here, and I'm gonna pull up another giveaway. Winner gets 1,400 Levi biscuits here. So let me get into the comment, and then on to the IS-3 after that. I say I haven't really been playing lights and you know, stuff without armor very well tonight. But the game, you know, the video I'm making, it's going to be mainly about tier 10 tanks when it comes to kind of armor creep, you know, with armor getting basically better and better with the new tanks that they add into the game. A lot of what the game is heading to is it is starting to be like a super like heavily armored, at least in the high tiers. It favors things with big guns and a lot of armor, because, you know, not everyone will chuck premium rounds every shot. Not that I think you should have to, but the game is starting to progress to that, and it's a little bit worrying. But sometimes playing lights and not mediums at high tiers, because typically they still have pretty decent pen and at least decent turret armor and stuff. It is a little bit harder sometimes to actually play non-like heavy and TD tanks at the higher tiers. Hunter, none of those shots would have benefited from using the HE shell on the RU there. It is a good shell for the tank, it's just, you know, wouldn't have benefited from using it. The shots I kind of missed or bounced early on, they were on me for kind of missing by a little bit. I should have people capable of helping me, but we don't have anyone here, which is a little bit scary. It is encounter though, but it's still midge scary that we don't have anybody here. Comet is definitely not the best tank at sniping at long ranges. I'm gonna have to, if they're moving around a lot, factor in the AP shell doesn't travel very fast. Like, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that fast, but the pen can definitely fall off very quickly in this tank. He actually angled. Crap. How am I spotted? He either guessed really well there, or that E2 spotted me. I'm just gonna keep chucking rounds because I know they're there. I will punch right into the cap if I need to, but I don't have any spots now, so I'm just gonna throw an EG round or two here. Thank you for the follow over on Twitch. 64 is actually pushing. I thought he was going to push. Really? They're T29? Holy crap. I thought I was outside of that range, but I shouldn't be surprised because since we don't really have that many people here, they're kind of hanging out a little bit more towards the edge than you typically see people on the hill do. Like, we're getting damage off, but I'm starting to get a little bit worried about this. Rightfully so, because this side is not going to last that much longer. We only have a minute left before they can cap us out if we do not... I stupidly pushed up too far. I didn't even see that he could shoot me. That was my fault. But I don't even know what... Like, we still have a chance. We're down by 4 though, but I don't know what our team's setting up like this for. We got a lot of damage off on the hill there. It's just... we didn't have anyone except for myself, which congrats Robert on winning the raffle. We didn't have anybody except for myself in the center when they got that first spot off, so they didn't take nearly as much damage as they should have. And after that, we just fell behind on... It doesn't even look like a lot of people got off more than just like a couple shots. It happens though. Thanks for tipping Levi a toy, Floyd. But let me go get him that. I'll be back shortly here. Let me go get a drink too. Come on. Thanks for tipping Levi a new toy here. That guy died. You want to? It's a duck. Here you go. It squeaks, so help us if he finds the squeaker. I honestly don't like the HE shell. You can use it like on the RU, but I've never seen me coming to use or needing to use more than 2. But that's just usually how I find myself playing it. But yeah, I don't disagree with people using more than 2 on that tank. I did 1100 damage though in this match, but unfortunately we just died early. But like the RU, let's see. As far as the rounds go, there's no problem using this, the HE a little bit more, given the pen on it. I know a lot of people use that quite a bit, but I find a lot of the matches that I've been playing recently, I always want to add just more heat and, you know, tone down my AP on it. A lot of the matches I find the RU, which is why I'm kind of over grinding it, is now that a lot of people are kind of done playing their light tanks. Levi he's enjoying his toy. He's just very lame right now to where he's probably a little bit whooped. He's just sitting there with it. He's not like running around. But thanks for tipping him. I find, you know, the light tank craze has kind of died down a little bit, to where I find myself facing a lot of like heavy tanks, tank destroyers, stuff like that, or mediums to where it wouldn't work that well on them, to where like I'm going to be making a video about, you know, how kind of armor's getting a little bit out of control with the new tanks at higher tiers. It's just one of those things to where they're good shells, but I think they're a little bit less useful than they once were, even though it was just a, you know, say 3-4 months ago. But I just find myself needing more heat nowadays because there's so many heavy tanks, or just tanks in general, with a crap ton of armor at tier 9 and 10. It's not chocolate milk and coffee, no. I went for the quick thing. I got some nice Aldi, what is it, carbonated water, basically. I just put like a little squirt of like just the like water flavoring in it. That way I don't have there's not that much sugar in it. I try not to, honestly, you know, the coffee, it's not even coffee, it's just chocolate milk. It's definitely not good for me. To where this is kind of my, I feel like I'm drinking soda, but I'm drinking basically water. Water with bubbles. Thanks for the follow though over on Twitch, Robert. I'll be making a video about the power creep. I'll pull up the, after this battle, I'll pull up the image again I kind of have for it that I made for this video. I'm kind of, I'm not like writing a script for it, but I definitely need to write like little bullet points for myself so I keep on track and don't veer off for like 4 minutes on a random subject. Like, as far as the balance goes, like with the armor creeping up more and more and more, and it's mainly just, wargaming's been strictly focused on like tier 8 to 10 for a while, which is troubling because, you know, if you want new players to come in the game and enjoy it, or, you know, people to play anything outside of those tiers, you need to, you know, basically give the other tiers a little bit of love too. But you know, if they want to basically rebalance tanks and add more armor and stuff like that, they basically need, instead of just focusing on new tanks, need to address everything at once. You can't just focus on new tanks and expect, you know, people to be happy when basically they have to keep up with the flavor of the month. Oh my god, that was pitiful on my part. I took a risk pushing across here, and fortunately I didn't take too much damage. Oh god, he's got APCR. At least he's dead. I was not expecting an APCR shell out of him for some reason. We still have a couple people back near the base, so I'm hoping they can kind of hold out. Sorry, little dude. I was really hoping I was not going to miss that shot, and I'm glad I didn't. He's a goner. His IS-3's coming up my backside here. There's a Yag Panther back here somewhere. There he is. I found him. Man, the IS-3 feels like it's taking a little bit longer than it usually does to aim in there. I don't know if it's just me. I'm looking to see if like my gun's damaged or something. Holy hell. That didn't work. I was hoping to possibly get him out, but he was smart. He fell back. And yeah, I'm kind of out of time here to... I should have hit him too. Yep, I'm a goner. IS-3, its armor is not good enough to stand up against these guys here, especially APCR. I screwed up there. But, oh well. It's a team effort, and I felt like I was rushed. Like, I did go to the flank, and ultimately I wasn't needed there. I should have went a little bit more direct route, but yeah. I felt like rushing there for basically everything except for the first minute of the match. T62A, sure thing. Hello, Kona. Good night, Labobo. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day at work tomorrow. But before I get into the AMX M449, crap. Crew is not in there. Say my crew is somewhere. Where's my crew member? It's here. Did I retrain him? Maybe I did retrain that guy. Whoops. No, I know where he is. There we go. He doesn't have I did retrain him, but I made sure I had another radio operator to kind of plop in here. So my brothers in arms doesn't work, but I remember I needed a crew for something, and I nabbed that guy because I don't play, you know, I don't have the French heavy line yet, and that's what I'm grinding up now. I was a little bit scared there for a second, but luckily, you know, it's a weekend to recruit people. But here's the image I was talking about. I showed it off in the beginning, but the gist of it is purple tanks and green tanks. You know, this is dating back to new tanks implemented in the game or changed to where their armor was changed, dating back to February 2017. So not that long ago, not even a year. The green tanks have been added in since October of last year, so even less of a time. But the left side, you know, looking at that, those are tanks where you don't really need premium rounds against. People might still shoot them, but you don't need them to penetrate. Top right is, it's situational. You know, tanks that are hull down, tanks that are side scraping, you might need some premium rounds for those, but generally you can penetrate them without it. You know, whether you're like a tier 9 tank, stuff like that. Bottom right, these are tanks where you need a heavy usage of gold rounds to be able to penetrate them. You know, regardless of the tank that you're in. You know, some new tanks to where AMX M454, Object 705A that's coming out, the Badger, the Object 268 V4, you know, Type 5 Heavy, Mouse, stuff like that, to where looking at the bottom right, prior to that, like, I say the E100's up there, not because you can't penetrate it frontally, like it has the lower plate, but, and it has the little spot on the turret top to where you can pen it regularly without premium. It's just so many people chuck gold because the turret front, you can just spam right through it, and it basically negates any armor advantage it has. But more or less, if you look, the bottom right part of the screen, especially if you discount tier 10 lights in the top left, a lot of the new tanks being put into the game, you either need almost, you know, to shoot premium shells the entire time at them to penetrate them frontally, or how they're typically played, or you need a good amount of premium shells in the top right corner. So a lot of the new tanks being put into the game, you know, are very dependent on, you know, actually using gold rounds against for almost every shot, like especially in the last 2 patches, you know, with the Badger and now with all the Russian tanks coming out, and like the AMX M454 and, you know, the tier 9 before it too, but that's just, you know, centered on tier 10s there. You want the Streb 103 for a deluxe? Sure thing. Is that the 103B or the 103-0? Because there's 2 different ones. So it's a little troubling, but, you know, I plan on making a video with, you know, kind of the full breakdown of it. But more or less, if Wargaming wants to keep going this route, they need to do a complete rebalancing and not just focus on the tanks they want people to, say, free XP to or grind towards, you know, for that patch before they release another batch of them. But see you, Panda. Because prior, like, there, you know, there's been power creep in the game for a long time, to where they have released, whether the tanks were slightly too good on release or they did something a little bit too well that other tanks haven't. Say, like, you know, when the Swedish tanks came out, everyone thought the Kronwagen was a little bit broken with the turret. The gun kind of held it back, though. Streb 103B, gun really well, but it's quirky with like its movements and stuff, to where, and even dating back prior to that, you know, if like the initial Japanese medium, Japanese heavies, and so on and so forth, there's always been a little bit of power creep going on, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, it was things like firepower or mobility or like a combination of something, or like hull down armor. It wasn't just slapping like 300 millimeter thick armor across the entire front of the tank, giving it like a little 250 millimeter effective weak spot, mainly talking about the Object 268 V4 here, and then basically saying, have fun, deal with this thing. You know, it's just something to where, you know, a tank like that could work in the game, but only if wargaming would address, you know, tanks already in the game to kind of bring it up to what they see as balanced in today's game. But, you know, it's definitely going to be a different video for me to have to record. It's going to be a pretty ranty video, but rightfully so, because a lot of people are upset with right now, and you know, I made a weak spot guide for it. I did note in it that, you know, I was trying not to rant in that video because I was mainly making it as a weak spot guide video, so breaking down the armor and just trying to keep out, you know, any other comments I had about the tank and balance. But like the Object 257, I don't care that you can not track it, you know, through the track wheel. I don't think that's as big as some people make it out to be. It can be a unique feature for that tank given the whole shape, but the problem with it is the armor is a little bit too good for a tier 9. If it was a tier 10, it would be a different story, but as a tier 9, with it facing tier 8s and 7s a lot, they just can't simply stand up to it, because the thing can drive basically flat on with its side armor facing almost every tier 8, but definitely every tier 7, and they can't even penetrate it with gold a lot of the times. That's it's a little bit broken there. Crap, I didn't even, the Scorpion G was still sitting back there. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He sat out there knowing that I was gonna come puttering along and hit me. I think Levi just got let outside. He's brought in a nice wave of cold air. Well, yes, I mainly stuck to just focusing on tier 10. I might make another kind of like info graph, just including like all the tanks that kind of fit into the unbalanced armor department. You know, dating like down or going down to like tier 8 or so, but it's just, you know, it's too much to do, you know, lightly armored through sometimes you need gold to definitely need gold, you know, for more than just tier 10. Because that actually took me some time to make, because I double checked every single tank to make sure it wasn't just, you know, my opinion about, say, a tank as far as the armor goes, basing it off of, I looked at every single armor scheme to make sure I wasn't just going along with like the kind of stuff people are talking about now, or, you know, without basing it on facts. I didn't kill him. I thought he got his little sock off. You know, we are up here. I haven't gotten any damage on any tanks that I've seen. I might have gotten one shot on a Scorpion, but I'm just kind of scared to push up alone here, because right now they just cleaned up. Good, the Scorpion's there now. You know, they just cleaned up there to where now I'll start popping out here a little bit. Even though the CDC is now coming up, which I loaded APCR. And the Scorpion got me, of course, because he can't be spotted, because the people on the hill are not spotting right now, but, you know, they were killing the T-69. But it's definitely something... Thank you, T-10, for shooting me. You're probably going to ram me and kill me. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. Yeah, there's my last shot. And somehow I bounced him. Thank you. Holy crap, I survived. Well, until that. It was inevitable to where that guy was going to pen me with APCR. You know, it's just troubling. Like, I don't care that they want to make armor more balanced, but the easiest way to go about that is basically toning back premium rounds, specifically heat rounds, and then premium APCR on tank destroyers. Normally, APCR is fine on any other class outside of, say, like the T110E3's APCR round is just ridiculous, but it's mainly heat rounds that are the problem. So, hello, awesome, nice to see you. Thanks, Grigsby, for the challenge. Which tank would you like for that? Thanks for the follow, Gurkha. Okay, a T71, sure thing. But yeah, it's just something to wear. Hopefully, I'm a little bit scared of putting the video out because I hope that, because I'm gonna, you know, I want to hear people's feedback about it. I'm a little bit afraid some of the things could go a little bit sour for a lot of the videos I make, but you know, it's gonna be a standard video, so, which I actually missed. Okay, I can pick between the Strev 1030 or the 103B. Yeah, I don't know what I want to pick. I'll head with this guy. Well, why not just go with tier 10? Hello, Outlaw, nice to see you. Alright, so I have a deluxe challenge here. I've got to do double the HP and damage, assist, and block. So I have to get to, what was it, 1800, so 3600 damage, assist, and block in this. Hello, Latif, good morning to you. But maybe I'll just, hey, stop that. He's licking a paw he shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm not gonna hit you. I only do that when he decides to pick up. Someone dropped like it was cooked, like a piece of chicken. Like outside their driveway the other day, and he picks it up and he's allergic to chicken. I'm like, no. I had to give him a little smack on the behind to get him to actually let me get it out of his mouth. But I might actually, you know, I have the image up for tier 10 tanks. I might just make one with, you know, recent tanks in the past year that, you know, are a little bit unbalanced when it comes to their tier for armor. Going like tier to tier probably would kill me. I don't think I'm gonna get any lucky shot here, but we do have people spotting, so I will give it a whirl. Mr. Skoda, you gonna pop out here again? I know he can see me, and I know Artie can see me, but I knew I could get one more shot off on him. Type 4 heavy, though, I am really surprised he did not get spotted. I have no idea how he did not get spotted, but oh well. I knew what I was potentially getting myself in there. He's doing alright, though. It's just, with his allergies, he's still getting acclimated to his like allergy vaccine, so his feet still get a little bit irritated because he's allergic to like grass and trees and stuff, so, and feathers, you know, bunch of weird stuff. That JPZ 100 is just rolling right across that bridge because we don't have the control of really any flank in the center here. I actually can't set up there. I need to be able to set up where this T-54 is, but whether or not I'm going to be able to is up to him. I don't want to just kick him out. This guy is going to hurt, though. The VK7201K can overmatch me if I am unlucky, and there's a type. Fortunately, there's a type. Like, I am brawling in this because I don't think I can help anywhere else. Like, I could have set up on the bridge, but I don't think I would have been able to do much there. I'm focusing on the Type 4 first, but also, if I can, the VK, because he's gonna be a problem. Crap. But you can block a surprising amount of damage in this thing, and I just got the audio bug. How lovely. Uh-oh. Gave him a freebie. I should have shot him. I can pen to 907. But this audio bug, honestly, is annoying me. It always distracts me whenever it happens. Oh god. I'm really afraid because they can overmatch me pretty easily here. I'm just really afraid because, yep, right there. He's able to, even though this thing's pretty resilient to heat, if they hit you over your, don't know why that guy gets popped out on that side of me. If they hit you over that kind of grill in the front, heat shells will pen you because they won't ricochet. Yeah, we're kind of screwed here. We're down by 6 tanks, like. But, you know, thanks for the challenge, though. I did just get by it here. A little bit surprised given the tank I'm in. Great, my gun is damaged. And I just shot the bit of that tank. Side scrape, but tried. Oh well, I died, but 3,500 damage, 1,700 block, 600 assist. Thanks again for the challenge, though, Lloyd. My next one coming up's from Grigsby. It's going to be the T-71 CMCD. I'll see how well this ends. The sound bug, honestly, it hurts my ears because you don't really hear it, but I guess your ears pick it up. It does actually put out a pretty high frequency noise, like from what OBS is showing me. Usually the game volume I have slightly below my voice, but here it's like, well, it's spiking almost up to max here. But I'll just restart my client and get back into things after this. Hello, Blue Master. Nice to see you. That was a fun match, at least. We got honestly clobbered, but I did decent. Excuse me. Probably was the wrong thing to drink something carbonated here. But most amount of damage on my team. Top 3 in the match as a whole, but we did not do too well at the surviving part where we were down pretty early. So let me just restart the game, given that I got the audio bug there. But this will be up fairly quick here. Come on, there we go. Let's say it's funny. I just looked at, I saw you mention it earlier, GG, the filling up the bond pool for the current event going on. Anyone that doesn't know, take a look at the worldoftanks.com page or .eu, whatever server you play on, and it will be one of the most recent events kind of posted on their page. The Russian server has a little over 29 million bonds in their pool for this event so far, and the NA server, for comparison, just has about like 1.2 million, I believe. Looking back here, 1.3 million. So that's all the evidence that you need why Wargaming focuses a little bit more on the Russian server. Proud. They'd be stupid not to. So for this challenge here, I've got to do 1.5 times the HP total. So I got to get to what? 1260 damage a system block. I actually have to redo that board. Not completely, but I haven't been putting names up for the past couple streams because I ran out of thumbtacks. I'm actually going to save myself looking like a fool and dying early and try to spot from kind of the secondary spot here. Thank you, Viper, for the follow over on Twitch. I really hope, though, that my team pushes the flag here. That would be very nice of them. Yeah, I got myself caught a little bit too far out there for my own liking. Really don't want that T10 though coming up. Like the AMX, whatever, we can deal with him, but there we go. You pulled right into my spot. That was not smart, because they know that somebody's there. Well, I've got 2 more boards to fill up, so a little bit of time before I have to worry about getting a little bit more space for this stuff. Ooh. Thank you very much, T10, for that. That hurt. Okay. Why are you pinging them? Like, they're not doing anything wrong. Honestly, I'm gonna fall back because I can't brawl into town now. Given I got whacked by the T10. He wasn't spotting me either. That was just a, he took a guess where I was and he hit me. I shouldn't have sat where I was for multiple shots like that. Got a little assist damage there. Don't know how, but I'll take it. I'll try to help out the valley here, but I'm not too happy about having to help the valley. Trying to get, ooh, good. Critical hit. Something. I tried. I'm gonna go for damage now though, but I might get, they just missed me. So I'm gonna go for damage, but Artie can hit me. I'm like 23 damage. We're now like 13 damage away from the challenge. And I bounced. I gotta keep helping though with this guy. Oh, the Lorraine got me. That was a direct hit too. I shouldn't have stayed still as long as I did. Oh, thanks for the challenge, Grigsby. I had to get the WoT here. Now let's see, I had to get to 1.5 times the HP, 1260, and I got to, Yeah, I didn't even get close. Unless I hit something blind. I was a little bit off. I thought I was like 100 away, and I was a lot more away than that. I thought I had more assist damage. Nah. I knew Artie was going to hit me there, but I still stuck with it. So congrats on winning that. Unless I shot maybe a couple blind shots, but I don't think I actually got as far as I did. Yes, John, I would definitely say that. Toolbox I would only use, you know, if you don't have repair, if you need it on a heavy, or if you don't have repair at all and you have, like, say a tank destroyer or something that can't use vertical stabilizers or ventilation, to where, you know, you have like optics or rammer, or, you know, if you use binocs instead of optics, or it could be useful then too. But I would say definitely drop it if you have repair. I was waiting for it to end here to see if I hit any blind shots, because it's not going to take too long. As far as requests, you know, it doesn't hurt to keep putting them in. You know, if you haven't made one yet, or, you know, there might be time at the end, but, you know, I have 2 tanks here. I do plan on, you know, checking to see if I need to do doubles, but, you know, I do pull, you know, from whatever is kind of stuck in my fussbot screen here, if I ever do have time at the end. Alright, this is going to take a little bit longer than I thought, because these guys are going to go one by one at him, and our Artie can't hit this guy. Alright. The AMX is a bot. AMX 1375. I don't think he's a bot. Like, he was, I don't even know where he was, but he drove over to where I was early on. Oh, Levi is now passed out. Yeah, I don't think I got, yeah, still 700 damage. So I didn't get nearly close to the challenge. So congrats on winning that one, Grigsby. So next up I have a light tank request for AMX 13 something series. Oh no, I'll play the 1375 just because I had a few people ask me before for it, and I just recently bought it back, so, which, I don't know if you've realized the stream title, I'm now up to 358 tanks. So I actually added another 20 tanks in between last stream and this one. A lot of them are lower tiers, some of them are kind of just fleshing out lines since there's a 50% off sale right now. So I did stock up on a lot of those tanks, but yeah. Right, so I probably should have picked something different. Only because the 1375, I think it's a decent, you know, I like the French lights. I do think it's a decent tank when it's bottom tier, more so than some other lights, because you can do some damage in it, but it's looking at the enemy team. Outside of the Cent 7, if I get to his side, or like the 430, if I get all the way on his side or the rear, it's gonna have a hard time damaging some of their tanks. Those are people, like, honestly, I have thought about, like, I don't want to kick people off my friends list, but I have thought about just disabling, like, invites from people, because they just send, like, a blanket invite to everybody on their friends list, but that stuff does annoy me a little bit. Little things like that irk me, not just in tanks, but, like, you know, just little things like out of place and stuff. Unfortunately, I can't press any farther than this. It's just, it's too risky to where, even though there's a lot of TDs and stuff behind me there, the likelihood of them just pushing out and killing me in like a few seconds is pretty high. Like the Skoda T50 pushing up, if he needs help, I will jump in there and help him if it makes sense. Crap, he just spotted me. Waiting and seeing if there's anything that makes sense for me to do. Might need help. Crap. I didn't even know that he was aiming at me. And yeah, I completely botched every single one of my shot chances. Except for the most important one to take him out. The clan logo is in that little loop. That's actually pretty awesome. Oops, thanks for taking that shot from me, because that probably would have been me in a few more seconds. Really shocked that T-44 hasn't taken damage. I saw someone was shooting him, but surprised he didn't get damaged before that. Doing another little spotting run here. Just right now everything's really campy because there's only one SPG on both sides, and you know there's a fair bit of like tanks with no armor and TDs to where both sides are just kind of waiting it out here until we get it, you know, one side or another gets an advantage. Here we go, the Object 432 just pushed hard and he failed. I will try to make my way over here, see if I can help him. Ooh, I did not expect the prototype there. Because, you know, we had two other people spotted there. Sneaky little dude. Granted, I don't have 6th sense, so he could have spotted me a mile away and I wouldn't have even known. I like the French lights because they don't have that long reload time. That's where, you know, even some lack a little bit of pen, or even with an autoloader it lacks, you know, kind of magazine damage for every shell combined. You know, there's still fun little lights where you can dump off a few shots into people and zip around and you're not taken out of the match for like 40 seconds like other auto-loading tanks. A little assist damage there. I probably should have stayed where I was. Actually gonna load up APCR because our other side is getting hit extremely hard here in this. We're probably gonna lose the STI, but I'm gonna at least try to help him. What's the pen on this again? 202. Challenge accepted. We wish I could hit the AMX more than the VK here. But I will take... Ah, crap. Borsig got behind him. Run away! Preferably where they can't hit me. Sorry. I was definitely a little bit late to help you, but again, that black print should have helped him. Awesome. Got that guy at least, but yeah, the black prints definitely should have helped that guy. Trying my best to zoom across the map as fast as possible. I'm just kind of waning now. Yeah, with premium I can go through him. Awesome. Hopefully nobody else is over here at the Borsig to where I'm fairly confident being able to not get shot here. We'll find out though. Yeah, you hit me earlier. Come on, Black Prince, you got HP. Okie dokie. Not load it, not load it. Really wish he had backed up there instead of went forward. I could have gotten him. My problem is I can one-shot him and he can still two-shot me pretty fast here. Crap. Nope, I'm dead. That's a problem to where I just got a low roll. I should have been able to one-shot him, but I only did 108 damage a shot. I got really, RNG, but I should have thought about that a little bit more before pushing in. Because I knew he was probably going to get a shot on me, but I was banking on being able to one-shot him. Still did a pretty good job for being bottom tier, though, in a tier 9 match. The Scorpion didn't have a fire extinguisher. Another person done in by not carrying one, but I'd always like to point that out. But 1600 damage is not bad for being a bottom tier light tank. And also 1300, 1337 assist damage. Not a bad number there. God, this guy's blue. Let's watch him. See you, CJ. Thanks for watching. I'm definitely going to be able to get the T62A. If I have time, I will try my best to play whoops, I'm trying to hit 4. There we go. I'll try to play another request after that, but we'll see. Mainly, I'm interested if we win this or not, to be honest. Let's see, is the Black Prince? Yep, he was playing a little bit timid with CJ. Is that you in game? The name is actually CJ. He's playing a little timid, but overall, it actually, it worked out to where, like, it would have been nice getting our top tier, the STI, alive through the match, but it's hard to say. Like, I probably should have popped over sooner, but hey, it all worked out. So usually, you can be hard on people in the middle of the battle, but as long as we win, doesn't matter how you win, as long as you get that. But Mastery Badge 2nd class, and then top 4 damage ain't bad. Hell, top damage for the Black Prince, so we don't have anything to. I figured it wasn't you since you're watching, but that's a pretty big coincidence, That's kind of funny. But kudos to that guy, Even I had thoughts, that he should have played a little bit more aggressive, but hey, it worked out in the end of the day, so yeah, good match for everybody involved there. So T62A is up next here. Here, let me pop into this guy. Let me start a raffle as well here. Yes, a Pink Panther. It's gonna come one of these days. So there we go. Well, it's a lot of people use they use the premium food. So say like cola, chocolate and stuff instead of a fire extinguisher. Because a lot of, say, streamers, you know, unicums, I still don't like that word even though I use it because people look for it in titles. You know, a lot of people use that for their standard equipment for a lot of tanks. You know, it has its upsides. It does give you like more DPM and view range and stuff like that, but I think it has more downsides than upsides. And plus, it's really expensive using it every single battle, whereas a fire extinguisher only gets used when you get caught on fire. But, you know, it has its trade-offs. If you're just like one battle, like back doing Clan Wars, it made sense doing it because you did get more DPM and that was very important. But when you get set on fire, you know, it really sucks. Alright, do I want to go to the center? Not really, but I probably should. Especially given that there's no arty, so having control of the center is pretty important. Especially given our team's a little weak. They are reworking this, you know, every map by the time the March update comes out for the HD graphic render update, whatever you want to call it. This is getting reworked, and mainly they are closing off, it looks like, the entrance for the other team over here, making it a little bit harder for them to get up. And this is going to be the entrance for this side, and the other side has the entrance on the other flank, of course. I'll blow my repair kit as long as I get out of the way here. Ooh, he got hit hard there. That mouse is still out there. I am really surprised. Holy crap, he actually penned me with APCR across my upper plate, angled that much. I don't even know how that worked, but I guess I deserve that for sitting out in front of that guy like that. So let's keep doing it. I at least have to get enough damage on him to outweigh him hitting me for over 500. But at the same time, I just stupidly took a shot from that guy. I thought he was there, but he's probably back a little bit. So I also deserve that because I am sitting, you know, kind of out of cover here. I might actually die here. Their one already just hit me, but this FV is going to be able to hesh me again. That really hurt though. Just unfortunately, until they have someone else to shoot at, I'm kind of the... I'm hoping that everyone just fired on him. Sounds really mean, but... I made it out for now. Our team is tied, but need to conserve HP, and granted the next shot that hits me most likely will kill me anyway, but come on, blue shells, do something. I know I have a chance to pen him with heat. Given his angle now, I want to use APCR. Keeping an eye on the tanks behind me. If they pop up here, I am running as fast as possible, which I'm really surprised no one else is hitting him because he's kind of out in the open. Here comes a Type 5. Really? He might have actually spotted me. Crapola. Yep. Hopefully nobody's there. Yep, he got me. Oh well. I should have just ran straight and hoped for the best. Spot it, you know, running through here. I probably still would have died, but that was definitely a little bit slow there to get out of the way. Still did 2,300 damage, but I could have gotten more. Congrats, Nice Cuppa, on winning the raffle. Alright, so let me check my doubles first before I pop into the next request. TVP I needed to do. Hopefully I spelled this right. I'm just playing games, Floyd. Everyone has their up and down nights though. There's those nights where I lose all my challenges like one after another. I want to let you turn, but I also want to turn this way. But as far as you know, I plan on making. I'm gonna try to make a video tonight. If not, it's still gonna come out tomorrow, whether or not I make it after the stream here. So don't be surprised if you see some videos come out tomorrow about 9.22. You know, armor stuff. There probably won't be any other weak spot guides. Only because, like, to put things in perspective, like, this is why you don't see other people do like the weak spot guides I do. I know that there's like tanks.gg and like gamemodels3d.com stuff where you can see the armor kind of live, but you don't see people really make their own, because it took me, I think, 2 hours in Photoshop to make that the graphics that I did for that video, and also, you know, it's the same graphic across my video, just without the garage image that you see on the website for the article. It took me just 2 hours of photoshopping and calculating all the armor values and stuff like that before I record it, and, you know, made the rest, you know, in the video and typed out the article. It takes a long time to do those things, but I have a ton of them to do because they keep adding a lot of tanks with armor into the game. But I figured it was important to get the one for the Object 257 out there. Just in case it gets released without being tweaked a little bit. I'm really up. Yep. Yeah, of course he's throwing heat. That actually probably hurt his chance to pen me. I am definitely following you. I was mainly waiting for you to come. I knew I was definitely a little bit too far ahead of myself. Do need to help him. There we go. Glad we got that as a team. Granted, he's got the best tank on our team so far. The tier 9's a little bit better than the tier 10 tier for tier. Well, he didn't actually get 1,000,000 biscuits, but I think you can gather that. Levi doesn't print biscuits fast enough. I did plan on I forgot to do it though. Like I set up the poll for the game of the week stream to where I was gonna put up another kind of betting question where you guys could say win biscuits for selecting the right answer, but I forgot to set that up, and that takes me several minutes to get that going. 1 HP. Whoops, sorry, I actually did not see him there. I thought there was 2 dead tanks there. I was going up there to spot the Artie. But I know somebody, you know, did notice earlier in the stream to where I did put into the shop a request a video where you can spend Levi biscuits to request a specific video. Like I'll make it for a specific tank, something like that. Where that is up there, and you know, I'll make it as soon as I possibly can from seeing that purchased. You know, it does kind of have the stipulation of I do kind of need to own a tank. You know, otherwise I can like make a kind of review video where I'm not playing it, but I like break down the stats and everything, but where's their T-28 prototype? There's their T-28 prototype. Pretty decent match though. Did over my HP's worth in damage, so I am happy. Low RTR. Yep. Or Bama, I should just say. I was like, some names I'm like trying not to pronounce them wrong. Alright, but I could have done more damage there. But I got my double, so I got a Luke's up here. Maybe my last match, we'll see how long this takes. Okay, roll Tide, roll Bama, okay. Alright, so bottom tier, I haven't seen this map all day. I think I only saw it once last stream. Very happy when I don't see this map a lot because usually on it in a tank like this and I'm bottom tier. I wish there was one for, you know, most biscuits spent, something like that. Unfortunately, the guy, he's not going to stop developing Fussbot, but the Fussbot creator, because this is like a little side project for someone. He has like, you know, a full-time job. This is really the money he takes from it. You know, it's $5 a month to get like the chatbot shop and actually be able to put things up to be purchased. He uses that to run the servers, but he actually just, he's going to be closing down his Discord because unfortunately, you know, it's not surprising. Like, I ran into it with my website, which is why I disabled comments on it, and, you know, I don't, you know, I have an email for it, but I don't respond to, like, every single email, because people, like, expecting, which I just got clobbered here. I shouldn't have pushed out that far. Basically, the guy running Fussbot, he runs it by himself because it's just like a little hobby. He likes coding stuff. So many people on his Discord and like messaging him, to where he was spending like all of his time responding to people's questions, and they'd get mad if he didn't respond right away, and he's responding like to the same things over and over. Like even when he put up like a FAQ, frequently asked question page, stuff like that, to where he's actually going to close down his Discord server for it, and he might just switch it over to like a community one, to where he's not on it at all, and it's just one for Fussbot, but he doesn't provide support. But basically, he's kind of stepping back a bit because it got frustrating enough to where people were like threatening. He had somebody to where he didn't pay him, but they offered to help out, answer questions, and people actually threatened to kill the guy that was helping answer questions and help people out on the Discord for the chatbot I use. So the guy gets, stopped. He's like, screw this. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I don't get it at all. But hopefully you guys like my camouflage for this. Unfortunately, there's not enough snow to actually make it look plausible. But that's why there hasn't been a ton of updates for Fussbot recently, where he was putting one out like once a week, say several months ago. He's just kind of reconfiguring everything to take a step back, and really he can still receive like bug reports and stuff like that, feedback from the people that do support the chatbot like I do, but cutting out a lot of the, like, I saw it, like people, it was like once a day somebody yelling at him because they weren't allowed to change the percentage that people can win for like gambling. Like right now it's at 48% chance to win. People wanted to like set it at 20% and stuff like that, and they were like yelling at the guy. I felt bad for him, but yeah, at least he found a solution that, I agree with it. Alright, I kind of wish that I could spot him. I am kind of out in a... I'm going to take another shot here from my right, but I need to get in this area here. Yep, I almost got there. I'm just really surprised I'm not able to spot this guy, but it does have strange bush cover. Ooh. I did not want that. Well, that's kind of my fault, but thanks for that. I did kind of pull out in front of him, but I don't know why that there's a T-25 AT behind me. This is going to probably end up dying by this light tank that I can't see. They have double bushes that you cannot spot unless you actually have somebody over here. But hidden noise, there he is. He finally made a mistake and pushed up far, because I wouldn't have been able to see him otherwise. Rat. Now I don't know where he's at. And this M46 is coming around. I got him right after. Thank God he missed. I say I got him right after. My Artie tracked me. Thanks a lot, Artie. You're such a team. I'm gonna... Oh, thank God you bounced again. Artie just almost killed me. He stunned me. Luckily I had a med kit. Not that we're doing too well on the other side, but like now I'm stuck. I've got to like nudge my way out of here. And with doing so I might get hit by the light tank. Like, thanks, Artie. You're such a real pal. You made that worse. Fortunately, having to use heat in this thing because your pen's kind of crappy. I do like this tank because they buffed it now. I haven't played a lot, but crap, I actually wanted heat here. There we go. I got a little redemption. Unfortunately, though, we need to definitely speed this up a little bit. Kind of hoping he keeps coming. Nope. Just the aiming time on this is god awful. I somehow got him now. Artie, I don't know why our Artie just didn't move. Like, did you not see them flanking for like the first few minutes of the match? Like, they had plenty of time to react and to push up further, but making a little bit of a gamble here, given that I am one-shottable. But this thing hits pretty hard. Was hoping... Nah. I'd bounce. I should have just popped on the south more, but oh well. Did 1,300 damage though, 1,100 assist, but I just wish I wasn't stuck in that little corner for as long as I was. But hello, Mr. Dollar. But this is my last match of tonight, guys. You know, thank you very much for watching. It was a fun stream. Yeah, thank you very much for the tips as well, the new follows and subscriptions too. Next time you'll see me live will be Tuesday morning for World of Tanks, and then Tuesday night I'll be playing World of Warplanes. You know, otherwise you should see a few of my videos out tomorrow about some 9.22 stuff and like a video about armor creep. But otherwise, you know, it was a fun one. I definitely struggled a bit tonight in light tanks, but that's been more of the norm than not recently. Just lights, you know, even though it's only been a few months, or I should just say under a year since tier 10 lights came out, they're still effective, but the game definitely is moving away from them, unfortunately. And not just lights, it's moving more towards tanks with armor again, in a bad way, because it's tanks with armor that you need premium rounds to pen with. And light tanks unfortunately don't have crazy premium shells on them like mediums and heavies and TDs do. But anyway, you know, thanks again for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys had fun tonight. I definitely did. I'll see some of you guys Tuesday. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you guys some point during the week coming up here. And yeah, have a good one, and get ready for the Object 257 once it makes its release on a live server. That's going to be very interesting. Alright, I was about to say, I was trying to wait for the end game screen, but it's like going really slow. I got top 3 damage somehow on my team. But yeah, it's just like, not pointing out like this guy specifically, but like the T25AT and a few other tanks, they pushed out. Like I took a risk getting to my spot, but we had people pushing out in the spots to where they just died and they only got like 1 or 2 shots off. That's usually where you see just matches get completely won or lost in the first few minutes, but oh well. But anyway, yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys around. Have a nice one.